or whatever. And it's really easy because I've studied those passages too, and I believe in the Bible, and I love the Bible. It's really easy for me to want to slip into, let's debate about the Bible, because I've got great arguments. But as soon as you start arguing with somebody, I don't care what side you're on, as soon as you start arguing the Bible with somebody, you've lost them. Because you're not going to change their mind by arguing. I believe the Bible is critical. I believe the Bible is important, and the Bible is at the center of many of the conversations we have on this subject. But it's not helpful when it comes to trying to have good, respectful dialogue, especially in the early stages. Here's what it feels like. Now, I have to tell you in advance, this is a video about ducks, ducklings. They're okay. I tell you because I don't want you to worry, because it's funny, but if you're worried about them, then you won't be able to see that it's funny, okay? And some of you are not going to think it's funny anyway. Because they're okay in the end. Because I feel like one of these baby ducks, when I'm going along and I'm starting to share my story, I'm talking to this person, and then here comes their Bible advocates. And then some more. And it keeps on coming. That's me right there. Come watch us happen. Oh, of course. But you go back, and you get back in line, and you continue telling your story and asking about their story. Focus on sharing stories. If you want to have good dialogue, focus on the stories. And when somebody says to you, here's what I do. When somebody says to me, in the middle of my story, they say, well, what do you say up to 1 Corinthians 6:9? Here's what I say. I say something, depending on the context, I say something like this. I say, you know what, that was a passage that I really struggled with growing up. Because I was discovering this about myself. And then, I was reading this, and I was like, well, what is this saying about me, and what does my future mean? Let me tell you how I ultimately came to the conclusions that I finally did. And I go back to telling my story. I pivot from Bible argument to, let's talk about our stories. Because at the end of the conversation, I may not have changed this person's mind about what a particular Bible passage means, but hopefully I will have let them see me as a person and given them the chance to share their story so I can see them as a person too, not just as someone who disagrees with me, not just as an obstacle. Because ultimately what you really want to do is to find the overlap. To figure out, hey, you and I may not agree on how to interpret 1 Corinthians 6:9, but maybe we can both agree that if somebody feels all alone in this church or on this campus or feels that the church doesn't love them or that God doesn't love them or they're getting bullied or any of these things, hopefully you and I can agree that that's a bad thing and we should stop it. So how do we do that? Well, we need to talk, we need to understand each other, and then we need to take action. There's an overlap